Right guys, it's been a while. Hope everyone's doing well. It's just a quick one really. I still have no spiders except for, I think there's two like harvest moon type spiders that are living in here because I constantly find webs. So today's the video is going to be a bit different. There's no point in me showing my miniature sausage dog, gerbils, cat, tortoise. There's like literally no point in showing any of them on the channel. But I was getting fed up with the way my leopard gecko's enclosure wasn't happy with it at all. It had plants that were just stuck on the side that kept falling off. They weren't good enough to take the lizard's strength, so whenever he stood on them, they just fell over and stuff like that. So I wanted to do something different. I wanted to change it up. So that's what this video is about. This video is about, I'm going to be getting rid of all the old rubbish out of the lizard's enclosure, and I'm going to be doing a full bioactive setup with cleanup crews, real plants and everything else in there, just to try and make it better for the lizard. So hopefully you enjoy this video. It's going to, as I said, it's something a bit different. When it comes to like spiders and tarantulas and stuff, that's kind of on hold at the moment. As you can see, I'm very, very busy. This probably hasn't changed since you saw it last. So in the 6 months, I've took stuff off one wall. Or actually, I've put a picture up of me and Paul Gascoigne. But that's it. So that's my next project. I want to get on with it. I want to get it done before the end of the summer. Don't want to tell too much about it. I'm probably going to do like a time-lapse type thing when I do start it. But let's just get into this video, shall we? Bioactive enclosure setup. This is how I think it should be done. I've watched a fair few videos depending on like what plants I should get. Check them out. I do mention where I got some of the stuff. I'll put links to most of it in the bio if I remember to. But this is me. I haven't done a video for ages, so good chances I probably won't remember. Let's get into this. Right guys, so as I mentioned in the intro, this is going to be the changing of my lizard's enclosure. At the moment it's just plastic plants, and apart from the water fountain, which will be going into the new one, and the bit of bark here, the twig, branch, whatever you want to call it, this will all be going in the bin apart from those two bits. Even the background's a bit of a state from where I've had crickets and stuff in there. They've put holes in it. There's like masking tape and stuff all over it. So it's going to get a nice clean out, and then I'll just be skipping through the stages. So this is a quick look at this. The next stage we'll skip to is where it's all clean. Right, here it is cleaned out. I've left the bottom a little bit messy, mainly because there's a massive crack going across the bottom, which I don't want to make worse, but also because it's only just going to have dirt and stuff chucked on top of it. I'm actually going to put a bin liner over it because of the crack as well. So let's skip to the next bit now so you can see what I've done. And on this bit, there's still a few more clay balls to go in, but obviously I'm going to be making a drainage layer. And once I've got that, I've actually bought an Exoterra like mesh. Right, so it's just a quick one for this. This is with the mesh on it as well. As I said, it's cut to size for the enclosure. It's perfect. Black bag underneath. Let's get it substrating. So here it is with the substrating. I was using Earth Mix, which I got off Amazon. The reviews are ridiculous. And because it's bioactive, I wanted to be a decent mix that isn't going to get any mold on it. So that's what we went for with this one. Right, so the next thing I'm adding in is this like soil / food for the cleanup crew. The quicker they settle, the better it is for the whole enclosure. So I've put that in, and now let's get onto some plants. Right, here's 3 plants that are easy to look after that I bought off Amazon. They should make the enclosure perfect. I'm going to start trying to plant this one one-handed. I am like overdubbing this afterwards because my kids were involved and they wouldn't shut up. So there will be a cutaway at the end for this plant, but trying to do it one-handed was an absolute nightmare. But as you can see, I've took most of the soil from around the roots just so it'll sit in and embed quicker. So hopefully it'll be better for everything. There's a nice little cutaway. That's all planted now. The next bit we're going to skip on to everything plant-wise in the enclosure. So here are all 3 plants in with a water feature, which hasn't got any water, so it's not running as of yet. I'm quite happy with the way that list is looking. I've mainly picked these plants just because then the lizard can hide in them, so it will feel safer. Let's just get on to the next stage, shall we? So this is a bit, I've put the twig stick thing back in. As you can see, the water feature is now full. I've put the food dishes in. Got different foods in each one. I've got water in one dish. Got 2 things of mealworms, and I've got another thing of gecko food, like watermelon flavour, I think it is. Can't remember the make of it. I'll link it down in the description. I've now added some leaf litter as well. As you'll be able to see, that's 2 dishes one side. The back one's going to be for like the little pots they have, the jelly pots. That'll be like once a month thing I'll put in there. There's the left hand side ones, that watermelon stuff. It's just it's not quite. And as you can see, the big leaves on the plants, the water's all clear, it's all been cleaned out, everything's sorted with that now. Next thing, I suppose, now we've got the leaf litter and everything else in, will be the cleanup crew. One more thing I did forget on top of this. Again, 2 lightsaber off Amazon. I think they're like £17. These are grow lights, so these will help the plants grow, plus gives lights to the lizard. It's got lots of different settings. It's got night mode, it's got a timer, it's got just everything on it, and I thought for like £17, it's an absolute bargain and perfect for what I need. Yeah, it's like lizards having a disco, although the lizard's not actually in there yet. We'll be putting the lizard back in a minute. So, that's my children's room for some reason. Right, now that's all up and ready to go. The next thing is let's get the cleaning crew in. So these are, I've got 10 tropical orange woodlouse, which will be going in. And these will be added to, which I didn't film, with the daisy cow woodlouse as well. So in a minute, when I'll do a shot, you'll see that the daisy cows are in it, as well as the orange tropical ones. These cleanup crew, they just eat all the rubbish, really. Now we're going to add in some millipedes. I've got 2 rainbow millipedes to start off with. As you can see, my son's desperate to get involved. I did tell him to not squeeze them and everything else. But yeah, he was loving it. He loves bugs. He loves animals. So I've got 2 of these rainbow millipedes. And apart from they look awesome, they're also going to do a job of cleaning up all the rubbish along with the others. I don't know if you can see any daisy cows running around yet. But then we're going to put the second lot of millipedes in that I got, which are the fire leg millipedes, I think it is. But all of the cleanup crew was ordered from the Sparta shop. I wanted to get some bumblebee millipedes, but nowhere seemed to have them. They seem to be a nightmare to try and get out of. So because I wanted this done, I just got the next 2 ones that I wanted. So, but you never know, in the future, maybe get some bumblebees and chuck in there as well. But it's an absolute nightmare trying to do all this one-handed. Yeah, my son didn't really want to be touching these to begin with, because he thought, because they were called fire ones, that they would burn him. But obviously with the common sense of a 6-year-old. So I'm just using like the moss and stuff which was in the containers, just for a bit of extra stuff for them to eat and bathe in and everything else. And then my son's deciding that he's chucking everything everywhere. Always helps. And as you can see, it's like the millipedes went straight around the like water fountain. They absolutely love it. I've seen various things climbing on it, like as I was building it. If you might be able to catch a little bit in that water then. I had to overflow the water dish because there were so many springtails that were stuck inside it. So there's also springtails on the floor walking around. But all in all, quite happy with the way that this has been set up. Showing you the door, because why wouldn't I? That just makes lots of sense. Probably should have just cut this out, would have been easier. But yeah, at this point, I'm trying to find some of the daisy cow millipedes. But, no, not millipedes, idiot, woodlouse. Don't worry, that dinosaur head that you keep seeing is not in the enclosure. That's just my son's Uno Extreme that he's got. And you see Millipede's still loving it. The water on the leaves is exactly the reason why I bought these plants as well. Is the gecko can drink off them. And we're pretty much done with that now. Right guys, so we're back as a couple of days later, just so you know everything's getting on. Straight away, see one of the 5 millipedes. Gecko's chilling out there. I don't know if we'll probably see anything else. Probably not. But as you can see, it's holding the humidity where you can see all the water on the plants and on the sides. Plants seem to be doing quite well. This, for some reason, seems to be a perfect hiding place for everything. I've seen some of the little isopods walking around in there, and I often see like a millipede coming out through the eyes or something like that. So they all seem to like being around there. But yeah, as you can see guys, happy with it overall. Everyone seems to be happy now. He seems to be just chilling in like, while you're recording me. So that is my bioactive gecko enclosure. Right guys, so hopefully you enjoyed that video. The main reason for doing this was I hated the enclosure and I felt it was unkind to the lizard. The lizard now seems to be loving life, the millipedes are loving life, the isopods, wood lice are loving life. So overall I'm happy with it. Wish I'd done that with some of my spiders when I had them. Going forward, I don't know what's going to be happening. I will get spiders back at some point, but I just don't know when, if I'm honest. Apart from that, there's not much to say. Remember, let us know if you want a time-lapse of this thing. Let us know if you would like more reactions. I do want to start doing some stuff on this channel again. If I can do reactions, I plan on doing some to like spider film trailers. I plan on getting Gav from Gav's Transfer's first video and his last video and comparing them and then saying, oh, it's still terrible. Only joking, Gav. That's about it. Then again, it might not be best to do those with Gav because he may disown me after his stag do very soon. So, yeah. Watch this space. If me and Gav are still talking in, like, what was it, 3 weeks' time, then you know he doesn't hate me for what I did on his stag do for him. Can't say too much because 1, he doesn't know anything, and 2, he won't go if he does. Anyway, that's probably enough from me. As I said, there's nothing's changed in here, I think, apart from some pumps on the bar now. They're not actually attached to anything, they're just there for decoration. But I hope everyone's keeping well. I would like to get to a show soon. I was going to go to the Thornbury show with Gav. Unfortunately, I'm in Greece, so I can't. So it looks like next year before I can actually get to any shows. And I don't know which one that'll be. Depending on what's happening, to be honest. And hopefully, next time I see you, some more work would have been done in here. But knowing me, probably not. Anyway, hope everyone's safe. See you on the next video. Ciao for now.